Now it's like, what's happening, bro?
What's good, man? How you doing?
I'm straight, man. Had to call up one of my homies for our first interview.
Yo.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
I'm Markie, creative director of PLV, owner of Colden Brothers LLC, an artist.
Definitely an artist.
The Gap person, you know. Overall, like, got my hands in everything around here type of dude. So that's me.
Okay. Now, I remember when I first met you, it came off of like, I don't remember what year it was, but you was making clothes, your clothing line. What's the name of your clothing line again? PLV.
PLV, yeah. PLV stands for Peace, Love, and Violence.
Right.
And just a quick synopsis of it. Peace is something you hope for. Love is something you search for. Violence is something that you resort to. Kind of balance ties into all of like being aggressive toward your goals type thing. Not like, you know, most people here, they talking like fighting or something like that. But,
right.
It's, you know, you got to fight for love. You got to fight for peace, all that type of stuff. But yeah, that's the brand.
So how did you think of that name, like Peace, Love, and Violence? Well, number one, when did you start PLV? And tell me what mindset you were in when you started it that made you even come up with that name. That's a real interesting name for a clothing line.
It started actually from what I've been doing, like the clothing line thing came up with like a bunch of different names that didn't really stick. And I was getting ready to get a tattoo that I still didn't get yet. So that's kind of like backwards, but it was going to be peace and love. And it had like a heart and a dove on it. And then through conversation and like just the area that I'm from, I knew that balance is just a part of life.
Right. Where you from?
Petersburg, Virginia.
Yeah, the Berg, nigga. Everybody know about the Berg.
Virginia.
The Berg.
Yeah. The Dirty Berg or whatever they call it, but the Berg, that's where I'm from.
Right.
But, you know, right around that time when I was really like locking in on it, it was just a lot going on that just, you know, balance is something that's around us all over the place. And I had a quote that kind of stuck with me. If you want peace, there's war. It's translated in Latin, but when I heard that, I was like, all right, that's the brand.
If you want peace.
For peace, there's war.
For peace, there's war.
For peace, there's war. So it's a Latin like I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, so I ain't gonna mess myself up on here, but for peace, there's war. And once I heard that, it just made sense.
That shit made me think of, you know how, like, let's say you was in middle school or some shit and a nigga bullying you. Only way to get the peace, you gotta stand up to that nigga. You gotta fight.
For real.
Exactly.
I know you know about that, you bitch ass nigga.
So for the record, that's never happened to me in my life. You a dirty hoe. I hate you.
I mean, but people get bullied, man. I said that was your situation, but people go through it, and I mean, that's why you got people that some of the best fighters.
Exactly. George St. Pierre
at one point in time.
It's a fact. You know that nigga?
No.
UFC nigga?
No.
He was like the middleweight champion. He said he used to get bullied all the time. That's what made him want to get in the fight.
He lying. He's just saying
He
that
trying to
shit.
say that
So
shit.
he got a story. He's trying to make a story.
All right, we kind of back. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. I think we got it squared away though. Brother, you want to finish where you left off at?
Uh,
I think we was talking about when you started the brand and people weren't really believing in you in the beginning, type shit.
Yeah.
Niggas hating on you, type shit.
I think maybe like the first occurrence of that was young, because I really started in clothes very young, like painting on shoes and shirts and stuff like in middle school. And I know I got into like a back and forth joking thing with somebody, and they knew I did clothes, and they was like, "Man, your clothes gonna get sold in Family Dollar or something like that." Like, cooking me back then. But you know, that's little kid stuff, but something that always stuck with me to kind of like make sure that my clothes weren't in Family Dollar, you feel me? And I ended up, like, before I got out of high school, actually having stuff in the mall inside like a shop and stuff, and then build it from there. So, I mean, they ain't in Family Dollar yet, so I guess I'm doing pretty good since then. Outside of that, I mean, you experience hate in so many different ways, man. Like, people not really giving you opportunities like you feel like they should. In this area, I noticed that when you have a vision that's a little bit different than what people kind of used to, you're a little bit more advanced. People are kind of like back away from it a little bit. Like, I don't really know if that's going to work. I don't really know if that's hard. So I really had to trust in my vision a lot, because it was, to me, it was a lot more advanced than what I noticed was going on around here. So I had to say, this is gonna work. And I mean, ever since I really started trusting my vision, it's been working. So
Was there anybody who was really close to you, like a brother, a sister, mother, a cousin, or someone who I don't want to say hate on you, but kind of always tried to tell you why you couldn't do something? Did you ever experience that?
not really from somebody necessarily close to me, because like my brothers and mom were really supportive. We really leaned on each other in all the things that we did. So like from them, no. But I would say probably from people that I consider like peers, like maybe somebody doing the same thing that I was doing, or people that I thought was maybe a little more advanced in what I was doing. Like I wouldn't say advanced, but maybe further along in their career.
Right.
I never really got the support from them. So I had to kind of work around. So I never really had an opportunity like for any shows or anything handed to me. I had to either do it myself or work around to get it. So I guess inadvertently that's what happened, but never from like anybody that was close to. They always supported. So.
Right. And that kind of circles back to one of the reasons I decided to do this podcast with my bro here, because we see that all the time. Like it's always like nobody wants to give you an assistance, especially if you're in the same field that they in. Not out here. They don't want to help you because they don't want you to go past them. If they got the spotlight on them right now, they want to keep it on them. They don't want to make room for nobody else. So this platform was designed to do exactly what we're doing now. I probably know you going back to 2015, 2016. It was probably 2016.
At least.
Yeah, and I can always see that you had like a real creative energy about you. This not that old, but I remember, bro, you remember that motherfucking Kill Bill picture you took when you was on the stairs? God, that shit was sweet as a bitch. I was like,
yeah,
damn.
I was out in Atlanta.
I was like, bro, I should have thought of that, bro. How do you? That shit was sweet as a bitch. You probably never saw that shit.
No. Yeah, it's down there sweet on my timeline. I might have to like repost it.
Yeah. And I already knew you was creative. When I saw that, I was like, this nigga is on a different level, bro. This nigga's on a different level. I almost wanted to recreate that shit, but I didn't want to be like a nigga that was copying.
Hey man, nah. I mean, I put it out there for people to kind of copy in a sense. I hear that's like the best form of flattery.
That shit was sweet. Yeah, you got it. You got it right there. I'm gonna pop the picture up in the bottom on the shit. That shit is
hard as a bitch.
Yeah, if you see it and you ain't like that picture yet, go ahead and
go like that shit, man. That's a fact.
Leave a comment on it.
Yeah, we're gonna throw it in the story, all that. So what type of, I'm gonna ask you, it's like we ain't talking about this. I really say what type of music you into nowadays, but I really want you to put me on to somebody who you know is making really good music, somebody local to the area that you're from or from Richmond. And yeah, just put me on game, because I want to find people, but I don't like going out looking for people. I don't know why. I just don't. It's like a chore to me to go try to find music. So I like this nigga always putting me on shit. And
he's hip, man. He hip to all.
I be trying, man.
This nigga is hip. He hip to the art. He hip to music. This nigga, yeah, like I don't know if you know much about him. He's a really creative dude too. More than just like he do art, he do music, and everybody say he knows somebody who do shit, but this nigga do shit for real.
That's all right. You need people like that on your team, man.
Right.
I feel like with music and stuff, regardless, like finding new music is like almost like a treasure, for real. Like when you find somebody that's hot and new, and you like the first person to discover, that's like the hardest thing. And you can say, "Oh yeah, I put you on to this." Like,
he was hip for
we be going back and forth with that shit.
But I say, I definitely got to speak about the guys that's in the city that's working hard, like my brother Bert. Like that's probably one of the hardest working artists that I see in the city right now.
Right.
He just dropped a project maybe a week or two ago with Zay Bands, a producer that's from Petersburg as well. He does a lot of work out in Atlanta, but they did a collaborative mixtape where he executive produced, and it was fire, man. Like every time I hit him up, he's in the booth. Every time that if he ain't in the booth, he's ready to drop some music, or he doing something that's concerning music. Outside of that, Buki, which if you in the Berg, if you in the 804, if you do music, 9 times out of 10, he's touched your music or
I
something.
think I heard the name, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
Boogie
much
All Wild. Definitely look
Okay.
him up. Probably the hottest emerging producer in this area. And like I said, he's touched just about everybody's music
Right.
out here as far as production wise. And he probably one of the coldest rappers that I done heard out there.
Mm.
Like when you actually listen to his lyrics and listen to the stuff that he's saying, like it's real deal. Like
if you could put
crazy.
him in a category with someone that everybody knows, just so we can get a sense of what his style is, who would you kind of compare him to mainstream?
This gonna sound wild, but if you was to mix NBA YoungBoy and Kendrick Lamar in a pot, that's what you would get. I mean, it's the grittiness of like a NBA YoungBoy, that up to date, that gangster, but it's still really deep and lyrical.
You
Yeah,
right.
if you get a project from him, you gonna get the gangster music, you gonna get that Louisiana sound, like from there. Because for some reason, like that's a sound like you kind of hear in the bird.
Yeah. Okay.
But you also gonna get like some deep lyrics and some meaning from it.
Is it from Boosie? Was when Boosie was out, was the Berg big on Boosie? Because I know
Yes.
Richmond was.
Yeah,
we,
okay, yes.
we was crazy.
If you play Boosie in a party in the bird, it's gonna go up.
But you the
That's the
baby
one.
man.
That's the one. I mean, I grew up there, like Boosie definitely being in like my top artists. So yeah, Boosie is a big influence on the Berg in that area. And Three-Way.
Three-Way?
Yeah, MCI Three-Way. MCI Three-Way is like he a different breed, man. Like
Okay.
that's out of anybody from the Berg that's gonna be coming up and really really killing it with a different sound. Three-Way is it. Like, and I always said that since I first seen him in the booth and heard his music, like he that guy. He got a song called 30s. 30s is the one that you want to listen
That's
to.
the one?
If I had to pick a song and say, all right, what's the song that you know is gonna go up? 30s is the one. So yeah, Three-Way is probably like one of those guys that I know is gonna really go real far. But there's a lot of artists that's been popping up in the Berg right now, like female artists like Raya and Bella, who really like got some radio hits and stuff that can really go.
Yeah.
That's
some nice
wild.
shorties.
What's their name?
Raya. I want to say, I gotta look her Instagram up so I can tell you, but Raya Buffett is her rap name, and then you got Bella. I think I don't want to get her rap name wrong either, but I know they call her Bella. So
Oh, I see her right here.
yeah,
Follow.
and they got music on iTunes, so everybody official,
Right.
everybody
that's
got
what's
stuff you
up.
can look up and you can stream. Boz the Goat is another
I heard
artist
that
that's
one,
coming out
I
there.
think.
Yeah, Boz been making a lot of noise, been doing a lot in the Berg too. So that's another person that you definitely want to check out because they working, man. These are people that not even just hearing their music is good. I'm running into them in the studio all the time. You know, I'm seeing them post stuff all the time as far as music. They get videos and stuff out. They traveling, all this type of stuff. So, I mean, I get the pleasure to see the behind the scenes of it, but even not seeing that, the music in itself speaks for itself. So,
Right. Well, I mean, you're a real creative dude. You ever tried to do music?
yeah, I actually got music floating around on the internet. So
Is that something that you still try to do, like, because you know you can do it? Is it something that you like to do?
it is something that I like to do. I just feel like I make the excuse I don't got the time. And like history as far as like one of the groups, like All Wild, like I was probably one before that group even started, I was probably one of the first guys out that group rapping.
Mm.
And then it developed into everybody being like, I stopped rapping, then my brothers picked it up and started rapping. So I chimed in and made like songs. But eventually I started getting more into like my clothes and creating opportunities that way, that I just like, all right, music is just something that I set to the side. But I've been thinking about like getting back into it and at least recording some songs, shooting some videos for some stuff that people like really like that I released some time ago. But most of the music that I recorded was like maybe like 5 or 6 years old.
How do you feel about your old music? Like, I know some
think
people
it's
don't
turned.
like their old music. Are you still like it?
I think it's turning, just the quality ain't there. Like the quality we got now is up there, so it'll take some re-recording, but I think it still translates in today and like today's type of motion. Like music I make was the music I was making that was like really hitting was like club music, like dance music.
Bitch, shake that ass.
For real though. So I mean, if everything works out depending on like how the year go, I'll try to get some new stuff out, or revamp some of the old stuff because people are like, yeah, you need to do this, you need to put videos out for it. It's a better outlet for it now.
Yeah. Hey, what better way to roll out some clothes?
With some music.
With some music, yeah.
That's like a band in itself, man.
Yeah.
All of that stuff is just its own. Like we in the same kind of like family. Music, clothes, all that stuff is just they buddies.
The culture.
Sense, Yeah, it's all about the culture.
Nah, he mad. Look, shut up, man.
That word was 2019, nigga. I don't say that. Nah, fuck it.
I hate you.
2019 still going on, man. 2020 don't count.
Hey. True, because 2020 is fucked up right now.
For real.
2020 is crazy. But it's a lot of good that came out of 2020 because, I mean, a lot more people supporting things like Black culture.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more people are like supporting Black culture. Even locally, you see a lot more people supporting just businesses, like startup businesses and things like that. And it opened up your eyes of what you can and can't do. Like, especially when it come down to like clocking in. It showed that you don't really have to clock into a job like you normally thought you would because so many things now you can do at home. So it kind of pops that light bulb up like, maybe I don't need to clock in, or maybe I should kind of start that business and move around at home a little bit more. So, I mean, there's a lot of bad that came from it, but it's definitely a silver lining, I think.
Yeah, made people grind. A whole lot of people started doing shit though, starting businesses.
Right.
A whole lot.
But they had the time now. Now they sitting at home, like, damn, I ain't got no excuse not to edit that video. I ain't got no excuse not to go record in this shit that I got.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I ain't got no excuse not to go record my shit.
Yeah. And that's what you'll look at for real. If you sitting at home and you're not recording or you're not getting into your craft, there's no excuse at this point because you have nothing but time. You have months and months and months of time to get something together. And if you come out of this and you haven't been into it, it's almost like...
You just a bitch.
Yeah. You might as well go pack it up in the closet, man. That's nigga. It. Ain't no more recording.
Go to work.
No more clothes, man.
Go clock
Hit the
in.
clock.
All right. So I know you spoke a lot about things that you do yourself as far as the clothing, and just all the other creative things you do. Do you know of anyone else who is doing something maybe not similar, but just someone who also that you see has a talent for either creating something, whether it be clothes, whatever, or they're running their own business? You know anyone like that?
Once again, man, like I speak a lot about Petersburg just because being in the mix of it, it's a lot of guys out there it's saturated with talent. It's a lot of brands that popped up over time. I think one of the most prominent that's been rolling for a while is probably this guy Shamar. He has Shamar. His brand is Ramaz. And he opened up a store in downtown Petersburg, and he actually about to open up his second. I think hopefully I don't get it wrong, but I want to say it's like at the end of this month or the first of next month. So that's a big inspiration for a lot of people that have brands that want to do the same thing. Because,
Is he a clothing brand?
He's a clothing brand.
Okay.
Custom. He does customs, and he does like his own printed shirts and stuff too. So he got his foot in like both ends.
So is he like painting on stuff custom, or is he like stitching?
Nah, he's stitching. So artillery, what they're calling. So he actually like
this nigga used a big word.
Oh, my bad.
I don't know that word.
That's a fashion term, man. You're in the fashion world. So, but yeah, he sews, cutting sew.
Okay.
Cutting sew is what you said. So a lot of custom stuff is what he does.
I like
and
when
he has like his
that.
own branded stuff. Chase 24/7 is another brand that's coming out the bird that I see a lot. There's a couple of them, man, maybe 3 or 4 brands that's out there. And just to not butcher somebody's brand name, throw those ones out there, but it's probably another 3 or 4 brands. It's another 4 or 5 different artists, like Travis Luckett, No Luck Art. He's a guy that I've been knowing Travis forever. Painting shoes, painting shirts, like a lot of murals that you'll see around Petersburg, like he probably did. I'm in tune with a lot of the Richmond artists as well, because I really got my feet more into fashion in Richmond than in Petersburg, because the stuff that I like was more out in Richmond than back there. So, like, I started doing clothes like with Chalele. There's a big brand that's out here. They just opened their store back up. They're always doing something. I think they had like a beer collaboration that they just did, if not last weekend, or this weekend coming up.
Yeah. It's like a Virginia beer brand, like it's one Virginia of those local
brand, local brand that they partnered up with. And
I wonder how that was. What did she create the logo, like something for the
from what I seen, because I didn't make it to the actual event, I know that the bottle was probably branded and custom by them, and I think they might have chose like, maybe the flavor of it or something like that.
That's fly.
Yeah, so, and things like that is stuff that I want to do with my brand. So when I see that, I was like, okay, that's something that's possible to be able to do, where you can collaborate with things that's like out of your norm. You're not just doing like collaborating with another clothing brand. You're actually doing like a beer or, the sky's really the limit. And then to have that local, to team up with a brand that's local is dope too. Rotate is another business that I look at and admire because they're growing. I think he's about to open up some more stores as well. He's like the same concept like your round twos, where the buy and resale. But I knew him when he was first starting his concept and stuff too. When he was like, "Hey, you sew? Well, I got these jerseys and these shirts and stuff that I thrifted. We need to come together and like sew some stuff together." I just was talking to him like at a bar. I seen him last week. Like, bro, I remember when you was telling me to like collab with you with your thrifted stuff so we can make pieces out of that. And now he's grown to a whole store, and his store and stuff is evolving to, being like around too.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
You were saying something a second ago about you knew somebody who was an artist out in Petersburg. And I always thought that's probably one of the hardest, I don't know if I call it a trade or like something to pursue, because how hard is it to make money doing art, like actually painting something or doing a mural? Like, I know you can speak to it a little bit. I know you never tried to sell your art, but you do a lot of art too. Have you ever thought about that?
As far as selling it, or like
like making a real career out of being an artist, like a nigga that's painting shit.
I don't know. Like when I was younger, I definitely thought about like pursuing art, painting and shit like that. But like, I don't know. As I got older and I started seeing people like struggling artists, and then like my mama, she won't. I guess against art, but like they was kind of like realists. Is like they were workers.
Yeah.
So they won't like they ain't grow up in the phase
Dominique,
of people
put that paintbrush down.
But nah, though, they ain't grow up in the phase of like, doing your own shit, creating shit. It was straight just like, go to work.
Right.
So like, even with my sister-in-law painting and shit, unless you got some real crazy shit or got like a real crazy following, it's hard to like, because you can't go to school for art and then like get a job. You gonna be like an art teacher or like a professor or something. But like, as far as really selling your art, you either gotta know people to get them big checks,
right,
or like have a big following,
right.
But
yeah, I do agree with that in a lot of ways. That art is kind of, and to say it vaguely, like art is kind of close to being like a kind of like rap, where it's like a popularity thing. Like, when you got it, and when it don't strike, it doesn't. But I disagree with it at the same time, because at this moment of time, it's like the perfect time for it. Like, I feel like the ideology of a struggling artist is kind of like slowly but surely leaving, because the opportunity to do it is just like so much greater than what it was. Like when I first started painting shoes, I was only limited to the people that knew me at school. But now I can literally have a following in a whole nother city or a whole nother state or a whole nother country. So your reach now is a lot further. And just the way that you can just do stuff, like I can paint a picture, make 10 copies of it, sell it for $50, make my money back just like that. So, I mean, if you know how to hustle, you can make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And it is a popularity contest. The more popular you are, the higher the value of your work can be. Because, I mean, I know artists that can draw just as good as anybody else, but they don't sell $1 million Basquiat painting. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the tide is changing because of the fact that you can like push things on the internet and do things like that. But it's a popularity contest. But it's a lot easier to make money than what it used to be because you can reach more people.
How do you get popular with art?
Shoot, that's what just about anything, man. Like now you got a network. You gotta say, hey man, I do art. Check my artwork out. Fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much how anything is now. You gotta let people know it. Closed mouths don't get fed type situation.
Right.
If I do art, I gotta let people know art. The thing is out here, it being such area saturated with artists, it ain't really that you making yourself stand out, but you actually gotta like create your own opportunities. And being a person that they didn't really give me a lot of opportunities, I figured out how to create my own opportunities. I don't really need anybody to give me a gallery show when I know how to rent a gallery out myself and put my own stuff in it. And reach out to the people that I know that's gonna rock with me and cater to that. So I can paint, do all the stuff that I gotta do, and then invest into that, you know, because really a gallery is just a space. This room is a gallery, and you know, as long as I got the people to fill it up and make that happen, then it's the work. So at this point, the work is gonna show. Like it's a popularity contest. You want to get it out there, but if you're willing to like put your feet to the street, let it be known that you're doing what you're doing, the possibilities really is endless because you got social media and you got that outlet to do it. And I mean, I feel like Richmond is one of those places that it can happen because this is a place for art. It's like the number 4 art school or something in the United States.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
VCU?
it was.
Yeah.
VCU was like in the top 10.
Damn.
Don't-
I just realized like probably like 4 years ago, I was like, damn, it's a lot of art going on here.
Yeah,
Swear to
man,
God.
so art movement, where there's art, there's obviously not to sound stupid or anything like that, whereas art is creativity, is free thinkers. So you got to tap into that energy.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody out here that's saying like that they can't really make it as an artist, that it's hard in a way, yeah, but you just got to kind of work around those old concepts, you know?
Right.
I mean, there ain't no reason to be a starving artist if you know how to hustle.
I'm kind of from the mindset of you gotta get popular outside of your hometown before people really accept you in your hometown. Do you agree with that? And if so, why? Well, why not?
I agree with that. 'Cause I seen it. I seen the proof in my face. Like, I ain't sell like shirts and stuff in my city at first. I was selling out shirts in Richmond. I was selling out shirts in New York. I was selling out shirts in Atlanta and California before I was selling t-shirts or anything in Petersburg. And then once I started like doing bigger shows and like stuff selling out and I started putting my stuff out there in the city, then it made sense. You know what I'm saying? Which gave me a lot of confidence too because I never really like depended on at home to make money. But yeah, I feel like that you will have your supporters at home, but they really jump on the bandwagon when there's people out in the norm
Big
kind of
facts.
rocking with you. Yeah.
Big facts.
They see you on.
Oh shit! I knew him.
Hey,
Face ass.
remember?
That's my cousin. That's my brother. Like I remember when he first started.
What's up, big bro? Face ass. Sit down, nigga.
So I mean, you gotta accept the love for what it is. I mean, learn
Facts.
to differentiate
too.
it from like you know, what I'm saying,
100%
the real
right.
and fake. But yeah, I feel like that you gotta kind of make some moves outside of your normal comfort zone in order to really like catapult your career. And I've seen it, like not even with my stuff, with like some of my peers when they started like making moves in other cities and getting big out there. That's when like the city was really oh yeah, that's you know what I'm saying. Like, I'm rocking with them. They this, they that. You know what I'm saying. I don't know. Maybe they feel more comfortable now that somebody else rocking with them. And they like not the oddball or something.
Right.
So,
That's
weird as
that
hell.
gotta be what it is, because you know
fact.
it's like niggas want to be hip to the hype,
Right.
but like they don't want to, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to show love, or like when they be on some new shit. Like if everybody ain't fucking with it, they be acting like they scared to say something about.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is so true.
it's
As
weird.
soon as the niggas get hot, they be like, nigga, I've been listening to him. Like,
Yeah.
nigga.
That been my that been my man. Like that been what I was listening to.
Right.
But you never really. But you go back and they never really showed that same support. Unfortunately, I mean, you take it for what it is. If you support now, I appreciate it. But
I bought some of his shit. Did you? No.
Hey, bro.
Yeah, he was bad. I can't even lie, bro. Like, to shout you out, bro. Like, he a beast, man. Like, my first New York Fashion Week show, he pulled up. It was hot as hell out of New York. We was doing a photo shoot in the middle of Manhattan with this guy, man. And he was on it. When you call him, he pulled up. How he pulled up is like you snapped his finger and that man just like appeared. And he was ready to work. Like he was working. Like you had went to like an audition right after the photo shoot.
Yeah.
Like, a bunch of stuff. Like he was getting it, man.
Yeah, I was that was a rough week for me. I was in New York for a whole week. This was 2016 when I did New York Fashion Week. And when y'all came to town, because you came to town with Clyde, some other people. I think your brother was there too.
Yeah, my older brother.
Your older brother.
Yeah.
And I got happy when I knew some niggas was gonna be. I was there by myself, bro. Like this is when I went out there. I slept outside, did the homeless shelter, all that shit. I don't even think you knew that shit was happening.
I didn't.
But when I saw that some niggas was coming from Richmond, I felt good. I was like, damn, finally I get to be around some niggas that's because I had modeled your clothes probably once or twice before that. So when they came up, they invited me over to the hotel room. I came over, and y'all was showing y'all line in Plitz.
Yep.
Pulled up to the Plitz. When they came out, clothes looking sweet as a bitch. When it was done, I stood up, gave my nigga ovation because I was proud, bro. I was so happy to see some niggas out there doing some shit, bro. Some niggas that I knew from Adolphus was there too.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just real good to see y'all out there doing that shit, bro.
Shameless plug, not really a shameless plug, but a fun fact. That first New York Fashion Week runway walk was produced by my youngest brother, Buki, that I mentioned earlier. He produced that
Buki?
runway walk. Yeah.
I think I know him, bro.
Yeah.
I think I know him from like not know him like that, but I think I know who you talking about.
Yeah.
He got. I wish I could. I'll show you later. I'll show you later. But I think I know who you talking about.
He produced that runway walk, and that runway walk is actually a Black Panther march. Yeah. So this was before like the surgence of like Black Lives Matter, all that type of stuff. Like the first New York Fashion Week show was a Black Panther march, and Angela Davis speeches in the background up in there. And like if you could feel the energy in that room, it was packed with like, our people, other people in there. And you know what it was and what time it was. But yeah, just to say we was doing that before, like it was cool to do.
Yeah.
You got to get on here and kind of like beat in your chest a little bit and say, hey, before people were really on a bandwagon and stuff. Not saying that like that's a bandwagon thing. Right. Before it was like a popular thing and everybody was doing it. I made it my mission to do stuff like that. Add those things into the brand. Subliminally, not to the point that it make you completely uncomfortable, because I feel like that some brands, they do it in a way that it's not tasteful. In a sense.
Like, oh, that's you.
Yeah, like, but I figure you gotta work it the same way they kind of work it. Other brands work it, where it's stuff that goes on with those brands and symbolism in those brands that's a lot more if you know type thing. Like you really gotta do your research and stuff. Because I mean, even with my brand now and everything that I do, I want it to be something that you'll study later. So when you go back and look at that show, those things about that Black Panther March and the colors that we chose and all that type of stuff, those are things that you can read and study about and kind of pick the brain of the artist a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So now it's just not like a regular jacket. It actually has some depth into it.
Right. That's sweet as a bitch, bro. Damn, where does that stem from? Like, you even wanting to do something like that? Especially since it's before all the shit that's happening now.
It's like the theme of, that's really what the theme of the brand was. Not necessarily like really pro-black or anything like that, but I feel like that it was time for a brand to really like tap into their heritage. But I felt like that when people tapped into it or did it, it wasn't done in a way that tasteful. And when I say that, it's like how photographers shoot women nude. Mm-hmm. And on one hand, you can have a girl that's nude and it looks like art. And on the other hand, it's nude and it looked kind of like trash. Mm-hmm. And not saying all brands did that, but it represented the more like distasteful side versus artistic side. Mm. And I feel like the more artistic side of it will get you more longevity. And I mean, that's always what I wanted my brand to be in general, is like a Ralph Lauren. Like when you pick a Ralph Lauren shirt up, no matter if it was just made last week or 20 years from now, it's still quality. It still can translate into today. And that's what you want. You want something that's going to last 10, 20, 30 years from now. You can pick up and it's an archive or a grail and you happy to get it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, at that point in time when I was thinking, I know that I wanted to make some type of noise. I wanted to be as upfront and non-distasteful as possible. So I reached out to Boogie. I said, man, I want something like Black Skinhead, but different. And we came up with the Black Panther March and all these speeches and stuff that kind of just represented the brand, because that's what the brand was. So, I mean, if I can make the biggest impact I could at my first show, that's how we was going to do it.
That's what's up. Yeah. This nigga thought this shit out way too much. So like, this nigga's been a kid. It's like, I can't wait to do this shit. No, that's definitely good execution, though, bro.
That's how you supposed to do it.
Right. And, my fault, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, just throwing there, you got to think a little bit outside the box, man. Separate yourself from everybody. Right. Cause, I mean, I'm in to use the word, it's just in a saturated market. Everybody got clothing lines, you know what I'm saying? But what makes my clothing line or my brand separate from this brand? Why you going to support this, and, you know what I'm saying, versus another brand? And those are the things that separate the two.
Right. And like just from some of the stuff that I bought, well, I bought one thing. I bought a t-shirt. You put the hoodie in there for me. I really appreciate you doing that. I did. I was doing a casting video for a TV show, and I was like, bet, I'm going to sneak this shit in there. Bang. But they caught it. They was like, you got to block the logo out. You know, the Frenemies hoodie?
Yeah.
So they made me block it out, but I do like the material on it. It's getting small now. It was small when you gave it to me, because it was just, you gave me a medium, and I wear a large. So I definitely got to buy a new one if you even still selling those. I love how that shit look. And I just need a new one for the fall.
Yeah, I know. That's probably one of the most popular.
That shit was hard, bro.
So
Frenemies.
I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna run that one back.
You gotta run that back, bro. That shit gonna sell out.
Yeah, everybody been asking about that, Joe, man. So I'm gonna run it back probably in October when it makes sense, you know. But I also do try to keep things limited, you know.
Yeah.
I know that concept of having it limited makes it a little bit more coveted, and I don't want to just like put too much out of it. Like, I want it to be kind of precious in a sense. So, but yeah, we're gonna drop again.
Yeah,
probably like October.
Please DM me, because I'm gonna send that bread ASAP.
Yeah, I got you.
Don't try to give me one for free, because I know you're gonna be like, bro, you can have it. No, I'm gonna pay for it.
Yeah, I appreciate that support.
No doubt.
I appreciate that.
No doubt. Yeah. I guess we can go ahead. If you ain't got nothing to say, we can roll into the freestyle real quick. And it kind of fits. This shit funny as hell. I said it to you earlier.
Yeah.
It's some shit me and you always kind of talk about. We talked about it more than once. Y'all ready? All right. How do y'all feel? And y'all, I'm going to generalize it, and then when I explain, I'm going to get into different avenues of it. How y'all feel about white people saying nigga?
I mean, it's one of those things, like now, white people saying nigga, depending on what it is, it's kind of like bitch, like the word bitch, like how females call each other bitches, and sometimes you might can call her a bitch. No disrespect. You might can call her a bitch, and if that's somebody that you fuck with, but you say that to the wrong person, it's on. Because, I mean, I've seen white people call each other nigga all the time. Like,
right.
But in a younger generation, though.
Right.
You know,
this nigga reading my fucking mind right now, bro.
And a younger generation said, like, I had somebody that I was working with that got comfortable around everybody, the black guys, and we say it, you know what I'm saying? We say it amongst ourselves because we used to saying it, and he got comfortable with saying it, and he'd say it, and we kind of like nudged it off for a while,
right?
And then one of my friends at work had said something about it, so I spoke on it and said, "You gotta chill a little bit," and then I invited him over to my crib, and I had to have a conversation with him, like, "Look, bro, I know you're kind of comfortable with saying that around me and all the friends, but don't say that at my house. Because some of the black people that I'm around do not play that."
I'm duking.
So for your safety, chill. He understood.
Right.
But that's a conversation you can actually talk about for forever, man. Because I mean, it got its history, and you feel like people shouldn't say it, but it's also becoming like the younger races of people. They just say it. Everybody nigga.
What you think?
Me, I don't know, cause you already know.
I know.
You already know, like the first time, like we used to get tatted by bro. And
you remember that nigga?
Shit, yeah.
Nigga,
and it's like
White Chris.
Yeah. You know what fucked me up?
White Chris.
What fucked me up with that though? Hey, for real, cause
White Chris.
It used to be a whole lot of Chris doing tats. So niggas would be
had
white.
to say White Chris.
Yeah,
so right. Which Chris it was.
Yeah, but it's like it was fucking me up, cause like this nigga, like he I don't know, like he thought he was black. Nah, for real. It's like when somebody being like malicious and saying it, like especially in the climate that we in now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's like this nigga thought he was black. Like for real.
Yeah.
Like bro had a black baby. I don't know how the fuck that happened, bro.
This nigga had a black baby, bro.
And what color? And his shorty was what?
White.
How?
White. I don't understand.
Bro.
He just believed in it so much.
Yo, I don't know how the fuck this shit happened, bro.
Yo.
You thinking about that shit like, bro, really funny. Did? Yes, that was a black child. Baby. I don't know how, bro.
If you think so, it is, as they say, man.
But
that's crazy.
It's like I don't know, cause like he won't. I don't know. Like I feel like I heard that shit. It's like I don't know. I ain't think nothing about it, but like now, like grown, depending on like how it's used, I guess. I don't know. I guess depending on how I'm feeling for real.
Yeah, I think it's depending on nowadays. It's depending on how it's used, because it's used so widely now, man. Like it's tough. You kind of know when it's used maliciously.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it ain't even really about the hard R thing. Yeah. For real, it's the way that it's being said to you, because people say it so much. Rap is like the biggest genre, and niggas sprinkled all in rap music all over the time. So, you know, if they rapping a lyric, they gonna say nigga by mistake. So,
the way I always looked at it is like, it don't bother me. Even if somebody was to say it, well, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say, all right. If somebody was to say it to me trying to be malicious, it wouldn't activate me to be like, what the fuck you say, bro? And like, I'm not gonna just hit a nigga about it. But the way I look at it is a generational thing. If you are a white person, 25 and older, I'm gonna say, no, I can't even say that. Like 28 and older, I can't understand any reason why you would want to say it. But the younger generation, I guarantee, like you said, hip hop is the biggest genre of music. They listen to that shit all day. They talking to each other. Yo, what's up, my nigga? What up, my nigga? If I heard like little kids like 15, 16 saying nigga and they was white, it wouldn't bother me. It wouldn't bother me in the slightest bit. But yeah, if it was anybody older, like 28 and older, it's like, you not only do you know the history behind it, you lived through it. You understand what it is. Like, there was a point where you just couldn't say it at all, and everybody knew that. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I thought I was gonna have more to say about that, but fuck it. Yeah, that's how I'm at. I thought you was gonna say something different. I thought you felt different.
No, I mean that makes sense. Like I get that, because like, especially like some young kids shit. Like, even they be listening to that Chicago music, them niggas be saying smoking Tuka and smoking that shit, smoking the so-and-so pack. Right. Like, them niggas just be talking. Them niggas be rapping.
They don't know the meaning of that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
You know. So, I mean, it's like you want to excuse their ignorance for real, because that's just a part of it. But I know it's I mean, it's still fucked up because I mean, it's just, like I said, it's just like calling a female a bitch.
Mm.
Sometimes
It's cool. Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes the right one is cool, but the wrong one, they gonna be on your ass about it.
Yeah.
But also, females call each other bitches all the time. So
Right.
It's still. I feel like that's kind of like that same.
I ain't
How
think
that
of it
works.
like that.
However that works is how that works.
I didn't know that's what you meant by that. He's
I
absolutely
ain't
right.
think of that shit
Yeah,
neither.
like you know how they say that amongst each other, and you might can get you one off real quick. But
Say
if
it,
you
bitch.
say,
Motherfucker.
Huh?
yeah, you like nothing. Shut up. But you catch them in the wrong spot, and they gonna be on you, and that's how it is with nigga. Like we call each other that and say it all the time. Don't
Right.
really make it right,
Mm-hmm.
but they say it sometimes too. And if they catch you wrong or say it wrong or catch you in the wrong mood, then it's on. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I ain't really ready to go to war with everybody that
Right.
say that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But,
Nah, I'm woke.
you
Fuck
know,
that shit. Nah.
but if it comes to time that I gotta correct somebody, I would, depending on the situation. Like I was telling you, like with my homeboy, I had to let him know, like, look, bro, I know you cool. I know
That's
you
a
ain't
tough
like
conversation too.
Yeah. I gotta pull you to the side, just me and you conversation, hot to hot,
Yeah.
and let you know and prepare you. Like, I got a house full of niggas that ain't gonna play that. You know,
Like, hey, what that nigga just said?
like, and then I don't want to be on the other side of the room, parlaying with somebody, and then they got you in a chokehold on the other side of the room.
What if he
and
at your crib and he talking to you? Yo, my nigga, let me holler at you real quick.
He gonna look at me and be like, "You let this go?" I'll be like, "Come here, bro. Didn't I just tell you don't do that,
bro? That's wild."
Yeah, so I just want to know because you have to have those conversations because I know with me, I hang with all type of races. You know what I'm saying? All type of genders mixed in. You know what I'm saying, with each other. So sometimes you got to have conversations with people that get a little loose with stuff. You know what I'm saying? Especially like, with your white friends that you is comfortable because I'm cool, but I might have I got older brothers and like real pro black friends that not gonna play that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, look, bro.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't say that.
Word. Oh shit. I'm good, Key. You got something else you want to add?
Nah, man. Hey, you dropped some gems.
Yeah, but this nigga making me look dumb. He talking smart as a bitch. I wasn't expecting it
a little bit, man.
Some good information though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I read a little bit.
All right. No, that's what's up, bro. All right, we're going to go ahead and close this John out then, man. Y'all already know. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Definitely subscribe to the YouTube New Richmond Podcast. It's New Richmond Podcast on Instagram as well. On Twitter, New Richmond Show. I'm going to stop saying that, too, because I put that shit at the end of the show. That shit's starting to get annoying. Where can they find you at?
You can find me on Instagram. That's where I'm most prominent on. Key St. Laurent. At Key St. Laurent, so that's at KIE_SAINT. And then once you put that in, it should pop up. So Key St. Laurent. That's the where you'll find me. My clothing line is attached to that. If I'm doing anything like event wise, all that type of stuff, all of that'll be on my Instagram. That's what I'm usually working off of.
Do you have are you doing an event soon?
Yeah.
Did you want to speak on that?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Okay.
I have an event coming up September the 13th. It's what I call is like a neo networking event. So they got your opportunities to network. Is going to be like a market where people can sell clothes and different products as well. And there's also going to be opportunities for like people that make music to perform. So it's going to be performances there. It's going to be all type of brands, not just clothes. Like I got a CBD vendor that's going to be there. Food vendors. I got beauty and health people that's going to be there. Working on like getting some like prominent bloggers and some execs that's in music to be there. I ain't gonna speak on it and say it there because I wanted to be kind of incognito. But it's something I've been doing for a while. Like maybe I say a year, 2 years now. This will be the 4th show, and I got the opportunity to get like a very large gallery venue. Definitely wear your mask because COVID is still floating out there.
Like this retarded ass nigga. You the only nigga with COVID in here.
I smell your breath over here. That's why the fuck I got this on your
That's
stinking ass.
That's why you got it on backwards, bitch.
Your mama got it backwards.
Go ahead, bro.
Shit.
Hey, look, it sound domestic, man. I'll let y'all get y'all thing off real quick. But nah, that's the event, man. It's called the Creative Gallery. If you go on my page, I have the Eventbrite up. Definitely get those early bird RSVPs, so you don't got to pay nothing at the door. And still, even if you do, it's a nominal fee, just so that we can keep stuff going. But yeah, not November. I'm thinking of something else. September 13th. It's a Sunday, 4 to 8. It's in Richmond at the Blackbird Collective Gallery. So,
bet. You want to drop your socials? You good?
Hey. Follow us. Follow us, New Richmond Podcast. My personal page, Social Intellect, SOCIALNTELLECT. Show that love, man. Send us those, what the fuck I be saying? Those inquiries. Yeah, that shit wrong as hell.
It's not even an inquiry.
It's not. Send us that information, whatever you doing, man. We want to support it. New Richmond Podcast.
All right, nigga, we out. Peace.
Yo, motherfucker.